Kenoporata one way or the other. Then sour the death of these people because they died as a result of hardship or the also. Among for banking sector, all these things were going on. We never heard of a family realizing said Niamana Yabano Yadi very dangerous until let us come in. When the guy was foolishly borrowing in this country, or the Sikaya King party because Wakobosia, Nanya Dam the Wotima, Okobosia, ya floaty bonda, Okakoto, why we now was the King party. And we celebrated some of this nonsense in this country, and people thought, yes, they are the intellectuals. Now, we all saw what happened. And then a year tried to get out of the woods. Under him, Ghana's economy got janked. And all the rating agents, it got to a point that the whole Ghana, a sovereign country, could not step out there to borrow money because the gentleman has decapitated the head of the Ghana's economy. We are so I think that the family, wherever they are, they should just shut up and give Ghanaians a break because you see, we are not interested in those nasty politics because if they had anything sensible to say, a branch and your finance minister, maybe in Kayaniha.
Virginia Sound here, and so Mehoye. And Idia Kwan so Obu Kwan so Sesea, Menoka say no, Lucius, a woman Sabinkum, and Tentenso, was shed a fugu fine. And as usual of innocent, very simple, but Ubiana Noir, no say very complicated. Innocent. And so ewa you can't send me no emerebe mu ade aka ne the better so dey kan Ofori na yere mu dey yan alata ni na na se Ghana ni no because me tisi ase na yere mu dey yan na yere yetu wo dey na yere mu alata ni na Ghana ni anyway I'm only asking so what trokrat aba said ni kunu surgery na yesi e be no ya yawie na mo be ma no be hia bosome porpore emiensa Now, Mesha Efie, innocent ho. So you say 90 medical days are say. I know meaning say they working days and medical days are maybe Monday to Friday are 90 and I said maybe innocent to be the best person to explain this to us. Many sure saying who medical field. Tony ho. Enti said the one him dada no ebano prostate huni amane na there's a new medical technology UK for na in crofobin na dey sade na ba first nanka wo Johnson no prostate na semba ho a you twa okase tenten na ya dabi robotic surgery no your body to say pew na ya wie eno no kura na ya wie ya wa cha 3 days yesi bibia wa asase so wie person ye bia no which we hear because you're correcting a comma near the amount. But can Ofori at the end of the day, ye no we hear Bosome Porpore Miensa, nor the Atiapo or Tiapo Yenes of Beba Ghana. Now, Waba, Bishop's matching. Over to you,
Captain. My mention, not mention what you for. Lamenka say, you sympathize with Ken Ofori because yare the obia to me yare said the be a Mexicano and cancer nya they are the toswa the papa so for him to be exposed to your friend in such a situation is an ordeal. I definitely know he will have to go through and as a forum. But the what makes this whole thing funny the aspect are the people communicating to the government of this country, the people who are giving out the information and as for because there has been a formal activation of communication between Ken Ofori and the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Any Niamabia air Kosubiano, that formal channel no should be activated. Relevant information is available biano. Must not even come from Ken Ofori. Maybe the hospital by now should have been able to establish that link. So Ken Ofori agree that kind of communication can be streamlined. So anything that comes to Ghana will appear to be an official statement coming from Ken Ofori and the doctors. That one is official. We take it for something valid. What the analysis are. We cannot base this whole thing on a theory that has been propounded by a wife. Are you very insignificant in this whole thing? Koso. Obetimia can then some, but the thing is, can the state take some and the wife formally abra the state near ready to go after the person in this particular manner? For me, I think that this whole thing they are just joking and toying with the people of this country. And I have sat on this platform and have told you, say, Kenofuriata and your nagins of Abakuruma say. So Ghanaians should just forget about it. Say president, next government, any former channel that has to be activated. Say extradition, them. Or the way a man will go after things, you know. Yes, surgery, sometimes you anticipate possible complications, because cancer, if it is true, complications, but some of these things, must not come from a wife. Say, can you for a taking serious? Or bet you man the doctors actually formally to the office of the special prosecutor or the people of this country say these are some of the reasons why, because we anticipated there may be a possible post-surgical complications, and as a we want full recovery for the person. And he says this period then you bet me the number. So whenever you are communicating in that particular line now, a man for will take you serious than a wife or in any medical way, and in some now it's not backed with any fact. We are not so at work more. He will come a basana about resurrected the long held notion and impression. Some of us will say the gentleman is not ready and are not prepared to come to this country because prior to the surgery, and I've told you, say, not on you be another bedridden, or you be a Obetimaka or Dampum on to me Nante, and you want to be Magana, or you want to be international flight team, then as a phone because you see, some of these surgeries, Ayana and yet your friend is saying, how do you call it? Surgery, an emergency surgery. Some of these things, sometimes a planned surgery. That is why I'm on long term. So it means that you put to put for sometimes they give you time and whole lot of stuff. And all this time I can for it and Ghana back and forth for so Mayo Clinic was so bad faith. He never demonstrated any good faith, say, or back Ghana to account for what things that he has done in this country. And so the Mr. Culture, Ghana for are angry and they are in expectant mode. Very often, they say, "Akaso will be a captain." A man for sympathizer with a person. The Akaso will be area. It doesn't matter. The Nipani or any Mikrana, you see, say there is a bit of empathy. But if you go to various social media platforms and you see the way manner Ghanaians are reacting to this kind of tenor, you could see that there is zero empathy in this whole thing because you know why? Nema Kosu Okroma are at the center of the epic scandals of corruption across Okroma. And we are talking about people who have significantly suffered at the hands of this gentleman. A man from a bank, Papa Kwasindu, when the man is not even well. I will be okay, you mama, man for Jumura, and they are dying a Kaura and not Teho. Or see about things as a man from Betches in the because God goes to know there are several people who seek a woman, Bessino Monsankaya, and there are several other staff at EOCO. So for me, I think that we need to show that seriousness, that can and demonstrate to the people of this country. Say he is ready to account for his crimes because Neamana Akosu Okroma, he is the masterpiece at the center of this whole corruption puzzle now here try to unlock. Said that there be a Mexican, and for me, I think it's very shameful. Said the Akosu on Nabusian for are trying to play and toy with the minds of the people of this country, and for me that is the problem. And a captain. Nansa me to say let the Biaba Bontia can for Atta family na Chokoma special prosecutor say omunyi na busia omunyi no mfiri ya fence Interpol red alert so na a good family na anima say daben you see and I make say society na a team no there is absolutely no shame because say nipa was sense of shame and remorse that would be the last thing for them to do and that was absolutely nonsense. You understand because you see maybe some who say Abrana can no for Tati Kroma no go a man for bank airborne kwasi abosia ye de oye ni nyina na family no mu vacation or China and I know more Zimbabwe. They never heard what happened when the gentleman was out there doing all the nasty stuff. Ghana for you megu Papa Kwasindum Oguni Bank when we had other options because I mentioned sir in 2008 America had similar challenges when Obama came. There was a tap that is trouble your friends say asset your friends say district where you reliever are buying on the buyer just to buy all these district companies out of your friends debt and Chase Bank and JP Morgan Chase in more financial way the government and make it available to go and buy this bank because in the financial sector we then banks will have liquidity challenges. In America last 2 years, about Signature Bank and several other banks because they all have challenges. Well, what they do is whenever they signal the red signs in the pet, then they try either merger acquisition and I say takeover. Then I say for them, say by nipa no boom or musika or monsanka. These options were available on the table. We proposed to Ken Ofori. I said, no, don't go after the individuals, don't go after the bank. We're Ghana for a year, Juma. He never listened to anybody. The gentleman destroy bank, destroy life. Obi a bank manager, we are not to preko or fine her. Family no amante. When all this nasty stuff were going on in this country, did you ever hear second of our family will say? When even the MPP as a political party, some got peeved and said, no, the gentleman is destroying our party, and for that matter, and the president will have to take him out. You know, did you hear any family? When the guy was here as a finance minister, I sat and I told you that he was sick. Man can't tell. Our program way, so I told you that the guy was sick. Because the guy was puffy. At the time, no, the family no any love for that gentleman. And because I said, no, Ken. At this time, take a break, go and seek care for yourself. You allow him to hang on because at the time, people were enjoying him. People were flying first class. People were enjoying big contracts. You never spoke. And until now, Ghana for second for Atta family go baby, they are concerned about politics and whatever that happens in this country. Go back to your friends at the banking sector. A man for your friends saying, yeah, the Omodi Musika. Ekoto government bond na se for them and merwafo nkokrafo mu wo kroma omodo mu ni family. I think they should give us a break. Some of this nonsense doesn't fly in the face of logic and in the face of reasoning, and the more you know we even anger Ghanaians anymore, and it is as a result of some of these things. And in Ghana for are no showing any empathy, sympathy towards the gentleman despite the health or deals in for OSP, because I want to now had the current predicament now. There is no way I wait me sympathize with him because a bidum there on one yaran koda hospital omu ye papa ya fa kama pharmaceutical say we senti mine omu nyina died as a result of all these things and Ken Ofori one way or the other nensa was the death of these people because they died as a result of hardship or the so among for banking sector all these things were going on. We never heard of a family realizing said Niamana ya banner very dangerous until let us come in. When the guy was foolishly borrowing in this country, all the Sika Kinke party because Wakobo Bosia, Nanya Dam the Wotima Okobo Bosia. Ya floaty bonda party and we celebrated some of this nonsense in this country and people thought yes they are the intellectuals. Now we all saw what happened and then I tried to get out of the woods. Under him, Ghana's economy got junk. And all the rating agencies, it got to a point that the whole Ghana, a sovereign country, could not step out there to borrow money because the gentleman has decapitated the head of the Ghana's economy. We are so I think that the family, wherever they are, they should just shut up and give Ghanaians a break because you see, we are not interested in those nasty politics because if they had anything sensible to say, a finance minister, maybe in Kayeniha. What's all these things? I will say, Papa Quasindo, Papa Yonfane, Jabi, military minor captain. What's say on my life in a support? I'm wabbing. You think Omodo win in life? I say, Omodo for a car, Papa Quasindo, dear man. I have a friend or a medical doctor there. Nisika was a good question. I over 500 to 600 million. And I said, Obidia 1 billion, Obidia 3 billion. These things not happen because of Ken Ofori or Bank. If nothing at all, you need to take over because you see, as a government, the economic security of the people is paramount. And sometimes a man for say, I see said that statement is absolute nonsense because as a state, it is your responsibility to ensure that you regulate these financial institutions by Ghanaians will not fall because don't forget that. Yes, I know to fly. Oh, it's a fact. Yes, what I say. So those vulnerable people, it is the responsibility of the state to ensure that he protect those people. Now your parents say, consider that who was sorry, I'm 40 teams on Kutin. Now, what one more damn about Sarapa? I was
talking to James and I said that maybe a president and then short I need to be
yes, yes, and the open the fighters on notice and Yamia Sisi in the camera born said deeper way in Yansa or they will suffer. I was as we so by the state, as you want to say, those vulnerable people, you take care of them. So in the same way, look at the financial sector now. Obinya tisa dibiaba ebia no nimu hunim dia ordinary ka mekwa akoshem. So the state award that regulatory mechanism na so for no. It is your job to ensure that you take care of these vulnerable people. You don't allow them to fall prey to some of these enterprises. Na nipa no kotom wi a wa ka say your friend is saying on one greedy na so for no. And these are things that the financial sector they are. But your friend saying Captain, yatena krom ha ama saa nema we nyina onfodi nema se yetimi yema ne yeye no yanya ni ye economy na Ghana economy da kam enye nyame adom de ne dollar ne cedi na stabilize amaye ka eso aselash by down nke ne Ghana ka egu ye so enye ka ketwa. And it's not as if that these people didn't know what they were doing, because the whole concept, the whole motive ne say you're taking over the financial sector of this country. Now you're making sure that we own it, we control it. Even in opposition, we still be in control. But catch any person, who you be a winning Yansa and winning Tumi. You should know that the most important thing that has to do with impacting positively on human beings. That is the only thing. Because I told the idea, you will need human beings. It's not about the many assets and support. But all these silly guys, when they got the money, you know what they did? Back for Timiko United States, no, I can't die bomb 100, no, Tony, way and what way. Nobody focus on humanity building the next generation. And as for Sabaya, Nipa das and who say, oh, Abraboya, yeah, boy, man, so these are the contribution, Matimaya, man, leave this particular legacy there for the younger generation. Sabaya or Monsono. It is all about ourselves, making sure that we build a financial empire for ourselves, our family, and the next generation to come. So now what we are saying is we are sure that you know that you push them to a pedestal. They can make life on their own. You understand that? But these criminals will only make sure say they set their children up forever, and for that matter, they will be out of everybody's league. They live with a certain lifestyle. But why ye? I will come no. Na sa sikana de yes, I money no. Your sweat, your taxes, and so for na man for DB. So for me, I think that the state has to be very radical. Makase, say John Mahama buy we see Diamond Ghana Libya. Now to talk about Bianasa and go after these criminals, Ghanaians would never forgive him, and that is what he should do. And I like the way the Attorney General is going about it. Look at how few people sat at NSS. Me, Eddie and Sakobo, mine sikam, Sabayiwa, we on them Kroma, and then Wakota Football Club, and then I say people were hailing her left, right, center. Nobody on his right senses. The question is, where is this person getting this money from? Not knowing, say, they've created a syndicate, a criminal, investment, a cartel, and on one year, and on one ghost names. They are Ghana and Kwan to meet your ghost. Now the Otassi and Gianaka, and that's a problem. Our ghost names over 80-something thousand. And yet to me, a first state way sika, neither quite ya collateralizing their quantity loan and as for Sanema winning a cost of Chroma. Banks are no more yes, Sanemano. They knew the fact, they knew what was going on. So for me, I think time has come for us to set the red lines in the sense near country Ghana and they say, you need a Quenya the Obenya to serve. But over now be messy up. The laws of the land, need to deal with you. Say by Ghana for who say or minor, you cannot joke with the country because you see, you create that aura of weakness around us where people come to power, they mess up, and I know that all that they can do. They say, Yamfa ahem from Kopachao, Yamfa Sofoni, Chinian Kopachao, and we will be forgiven. Trust me, we will never go anywhere because there are countries that far larger people are suffer similar fate. The last time I make a trial. The United States of America, Captain, in the year 1973, they had a vice president. Your friend is Phil Agnew. What he did, or a senator of Maryland, under him, at the time, I know a senator, or evade tax and tax kickbacks and then as for a buyer. When the issue pop up, the people of America make sure said the vice president of the Republic of America will resign. And I'm your friend said Gerald Ford didn't buy it. Gerald Ford buy a vice president, a year after, somewhere August 1974. And a president now notice so Watergate scandal falling. That is Nixon. So Gerald Ford is the only person in the history of the world that what the vice president at the president of America will be to Ahaban because of scandal as we see here. Look at how people have suffered for this. By Hano, people mess up and we think so it's okay, he's a big man, he cannot face prosecution, the consequences, everything, and then you wave you off. And that is the kind of argument people are making. So kind of for Atta in the life running you know self Ghana. Abrano Yara Krano he was dedicated to because of your one day. And the guy was out there making foolish investments, foolish decisions. And all these things was benefiting him. And it's the reason why I held it on to. Because he was sitting on some of the things that you would day. On himself, or Soroso Cotinapia, and once at the dying days, Nakufa, Unifio, or Unifio will move out of this country. So the air cost, not say a master plan or more draw and a play out. So Ghanaians should not fall for some of this nonsense. Ahaban should make sure say extradition process must be activated and making sure say these people young for Mumra Kuma and Mamena also convicted for a mass log no so I think that process should also be activated. No so Kuma say. You see, we need to be very ruthless in our approach. Now you're making sure say you cannot steal from this country and get away. And for me, that has always been my conviction because Captain, so what to when you call outside Accra. Now you see the way people are suffering and as a former. So such a country, you know, we cannot allow some of these things to happen and then people get away with it.
Thank you. Lucius.
Captain.
Bema na hojo. Yan kwai.
Captain Medasi. I'm fa kwanyes na menchia ahwefu nyina. Menchia ahwefu nyina na menchia NDC fo a benso baje bra be hwe nyina. Na Captain yade de obia ni ho ne o wiase ha onyare. Obia etumi yare e ma ne yi. Enti se koba ne se obedi djuma dibi. Na se yade be fi ho kwan a eno nko ade yetimi eden yetimi exempt o. Mpanimfo kan se bi se yisai eyi yade. Enti se oye oheni mpo a usai se o se anaju anopa o bia ye be frɛ o bia no obeden obeba na mmom yade nko ane yade a ebetimi ama ohene ye be frɛ na obeka se o mintim nye den mintim emma enti kenofuriata yare a ote se onipa bia o wa asase so enti no ebetimi aye nokre se oyare na mmom se one obi den ebi nkita ho a se utimi respect nipa no nso ni nyansa wati ase se utimi ema amanfo hu se onipa yi so o nyansa odwen enti no enka in the first place no kenofrata se o yare a ye no mu binum ye nya doctors enti no se o pese oni ye communicate a ni papa mu ye se babi a ukoya ye hwe wo no se utima saa hospital kro ana se doctor kro no oyeden ochro na otimi edebra OSP na ono nso etimi eden ekenkan se ono kranti nsem na ewo krata no mu ase a medidi ye se your doctors akukudam wo ho a bebetimi ayeden akan na ba analyze e bi akire special prosecutor say yade asumasi no ye den wo yare me no wo kasa yi ye timi to ye nsafro OSP to ne nsafro na wa make excuse from January and I mean can say February no ho no ne issue we start say oto ne nsafro wa time bia o de yade eni yi ho ano yade na wo di yi ho ano no so nyina na akwa eti say wa mum no te ho no ma o trotron krata ede bre OSP na ene ya ye kan ho asemi ene de akwa mpodie akwakoye o wife o yiri mum ne ne de ono ka kire Ghana fo se yade na o yare no ene wakwakoye surgery no awie eni nti no obeba in 3 months time. Now the question is that saa information you know ehefa no wife edifi or no communicate as a surgeon or no mom operation you know no or no air report ya Ghana for anaasɛ or communicate as a personal aid anaasɛ sɛn wahu nti wotimu sɛ ɛnya dia Kenofori Atta na busuafo be respect Ghana for be muye in the first place because ohwɛ ne ya communication na or the buyer no needless na che say krampo de kame akoyete say ono na to information na to abonte say special prosecutor pa on kofa na ohun say ne kunu no ayede akoye surgery and into 3 months time ne obeba na unse eni na Ivan o sha ase o say special Kenofori Atta enye na dwen say obeba Ghana ne aba Ghana china enti eno aho tricks no ayede wa sha ase a oye no and mena no so ya adwen asasem na okan mena no ya adwen in the first place na enu kwanse special prosecutor yenhwe ha ma Kenofori Atta Efie man
there be said that no be an issue any arrest order be for him
say na ye information na ope say we investigate no and 2% investigate na nipa no haro nko ade na ese nka otime den wo hwe investigate na ansa na wako be sabre ya wako akodi ho edie ebede wahu eni ntino nieme meka dia kwakwa wie say ta way of say ayi Kenofori Atta na busuafo wo ho no na busuafo aka che o say red alert na to unyini fo wo ho ana na yere enso de ayi communicate eba wo ho ana nti chese kame akoye te say buo na ne benye den be mu Ghana fo this is somebody what na Ghana high say atini ayeden adi insamoni bebre ama busuafo ho ehwe Kenofori Atta ene ode yade eyi no ho ano best time na MPP was nyama bebre ekosu Captain okay ayi ofrensen man Williams Tevi NCA charge bi ayi the ball Williams Tevi about $4 million ayi corruption the scandal papa not every week be no worry na issue na capital eshero but every week be na court twice every week court twice Tuesday no was Thursday per sitting be no spend 4 hours until within the week na man no spend 8 hours court MPP for who ni mobile say obi a owo renal issue capital shen or court na court na capital shen or the court 4 hours within the week court twice every nyina chi no bamfa no wanche no besan jeli no 16 years where near MPP for 18 years no asasi so but jeli no 16 years na jail no nyina no osanko maritime hospital every year they use from offense prison no akọ maritime hospital and other jail nyina no osane hwe no ho yade enti se yetim de yade ye ho anu sei dia e ma ne ye yi a adenti a ho no mom no hotimi prosecute obi ne oyare etwina de no kotu na ho de hu nipa de Now MPP for no person sometimes the person paint picture be I say the first class human beings be Bernard say be money issue no problem justifiable but say any other person be there any young family kwan so na nsan ya chi wuntumi ana be wo waya yi kwabnado for case Bechi ayi kwabnado for obi a obeye deputy governor esan beye governor then time ayi bill terms abedi man no 100 million ene no na ye ayi chairman wuntumi de beye hu dede saa enti no captain de ameme kan de akọwie say Kenofori Atta obi a wa mamanfo bebre awu Ghana ha wa mamanfo bebre anya ofrensen yade a na beko be yade what you say banking crisis ya ayi Ivan kan ho asemi now there wasn't any banking crisis bia ɛyɛ artificial ban be creative be share that creative say oh na banks no issue because na the minimum requirement a banks no ehia Ghana high say 120 million ne bank kasa betena ase share say yankuku minimum capital requirement emfa 400 million from just 120 million to offering 400 million. Now time and my banks no say Benfam Pias 400 million no. Just about 1 month. The first canoe who ya nipa no antinya sika no amfia and your bank no kra no onye liquid. And intino some year day me revoke ni license. Obi o ha no afre no say wo pedia and just say consolidate. Ya keka bom obi o ha just say egu no. No, yes, I know the blue amount for banks. They will come high say. Nina, no, never walking of Riata, one and now your day. Oh, Dano, one and now would decide to Manina. Before NPP ever, not Sao Kenofrata or banks in the new business, no. Now a Luba be every. But now who I've been probably say, oh, who percent who create some kind of financial empire. And then yes, I Japadia document na ebe told you na man for ka ho asem no because na ba bin na ebe say se bebe dura beba be create financial empire yen gugu amount for banks yen say amount for nyuma eno no sa ni betimi ama yen so yetima eden yetima ba be control system no ne never ya say amount for nyuma organ high say last meeting say na we interview Amuabe issue no ka second Ofori Atta before obe na say wagu ne bank no Amuabe bank no na oni fie anado no obi a oye wo ankasa wadamfo o tin bet na ofie ni hu ene wudidi woni mpefe say o ba be ne bank eno no krampo no wan ka hwe anche no ade a chen ye na wo ho titi mu na nipa no te ye ne say wagu ne bank nipa bone for same way selfa Dr. Indoma Indom bank na be gu no ni companies dodo na be save wo sa bank wo the man Dr. Indom krabo from sa de no because na companies dodo na GN electronics GN credit GN farm GN media GN whatever ni na ben so be save wo GN bank who collapse banks no sa companies ni na sika na wo GM bank no kwanfa ma no kwanfa this kana ma no sa companies na save what sa GM banks ni nya sika na e wo ho no who collapse ni who seize who freeze sa accounts ni nyina na se wotna ase eye obi se ya ena na Ivan kan Dr. Ndo na ye friend adwuma wura ono no create adwuma organ ha manipa bebre enya biye no ene ninuma ni nyina hwagu no kame akoya te se won create adwuma bi ada you see yentna wiase enye saa ene ya offense ye kan won se na wo ka ayifo asem wo sofu ya asem about ono so ka say National Cathedral ye ma be $25 million me asambe ma be 25 million Ghana cedis enu mom me den eya de a sika be mom ben sakaye so kame akoya te say enu the 58 million na Ghana for na ka ho
I no credit dada o that time na fe year 28 na ma o enti no ye Pentecost aso dem was Church of Pentecost PIWC Pentecost International Worship Center and na all chiri say that time no na mo sha say na 3 months into the administration of the cathedral no na buy no $28 million and $25 million na no na parliamentarians nem tia say but then no sikare beto my account no na nye government money as my papa kan no
and no oka source say na nye government
money
yes serious na government money wahu enti Ofori Atta adiboni bebre organ haya ene no sa public sympathy na open no on merit because enam ono ne nsamoni a wadi so ama nipa bebre awu okrom ha sei and I'm not sure many people be see sa ayi domestic debt exchange ya or the buy you know any people be pensioners na be sika e wo banks na at least be pebidia to aduro mpo keke aduro obi a wakọ pension a ono di niska wo bank o pebia to aduro keke kwa na onya eno so ni masa ayi pharmacies ya wo ka na semi no eno so ni odi wuyi how entino captain mena de megidie say kenofrata nye ready say opese oba Ghana but ye hear more commitment from the OSP kami akwa say Ghana for say Ghana for asha say kase wo benje da hu how committed the bia say OSP no eye what you say and again we hear no free hon ma there were other matters so why say OSP no or den ohwehwem onye no ohwehwem because Ghana no ya boka ache yes ka kodi amamfo ho ache this is the time say it me den yetim retrieve yes ka Ghana high see Captain
is Ghana.
Maybe that's it. Hey, that time answer. Oh, let me check. Mom time kakawa. Na, share rent issue no. Ketu anabibi or person.
Yeah, I think
anything separately.
Yeah, I think that cathedral issue no. Yes, it's issue back when the table so we can't overlook it. Because opadia back one bogan economy to krupa back one and you see the air cost union I've seen said the very people mulidi charge for this senseless enterprise yedi sika ko shame no all of them are feigning ignorance just like papa Ikan say no nim na yedi what to board so na $25 million free baby to account to as a reasonable person you inquire to know where the money is coming from mebo $25 billion enye sika ketwa
me former chairman akasa sa chero no
se sika to account to man you should be able to inquire to know the source of sa nema we na ya te ha yenko so no because if we look at personalities we don't look at the deeds that they do because these are people more study to a higher level no they should be asking all the critical questions me young man ametia I shouldn't be the one to ask this question they are the grown men or more what that particular intellectual weight to be able to ascertain all this captain yet kroma the time na yes anema no na enkura mayo from north eba kumasi be kaya ye yes yes kaya ye amomo and some of the villages, you know, Nipana and Moa and Numinsuo from the same stream. Now we are suffering a mini panabet the museum for Ghana, Sikankosi Cathedral. When if Rena unity could have walked Kolebunu, we couldn't finance people. We answer however. These are issues that we need to talk about. Listen, you see, some of this nonsense and I entertain will chroma or mine on cost because me and Meti I got pissed off when that people
$25 million
the cathedral impact ni there. I'm not mutu yeah. Me say Ghana is serious country. That man will not go to
that video.
Me say Ghana is serious country. And Kenya sorry and obokwa kwatena wo chire because I'm in jail cell and onam no chire because Ghana is serious. It's the reason why they are still working. Yet to chroma say Enkranke to us, Omo Enya Nenium Fiakra who said that enterprise na was senseless. We didn't need to. Yenya so form on Bakacha say Abonsam for Bonsam na boy pa because into a sorry Tenya Meduma. Make sure that we can build hospitals, we can build schools and make sure that we empower young people because in the world no APC. Look at how countries are investing in technology, advances, AI, robotics, and so forth, trying to reposition their young kids to take advantage of the world that is emerging because most of the job we need to go digital on digital platforms. You need to train your people to take advantage. So sir, sikana dey yes any money na. But make a children say, see cathedral Nyankopon dey born e be chai. Na 100% Nyankopon fa dey born e be nche no. Captain, we are not serious. Nyankopon dey born e be chai say civil war ba abete na ye kwa ye heavily food. Yeah, the man and Israel man and as a probably Israel peace in way. We need to get serious in this country. Brasa I never win na ye Kenyans asem chire nipa nyina they didn't listen. I know the day no. It got to a point at the jeans and we na suffer we actual letter. My resign we actual letter. Na my resign. And I'm telling you that these people are coward. Even the courage to tell Ghana for say we are sorry because in some muhu ye no ye hu no ye ko mu ni say na tenti ya pamacha we are resigning. None of these cowards and was able to apologize to the people of this country. All that they did they say I have uncovered corruption so I am exiting where when the crime has already been committed and America say Ghana is serious country And each one of these people need to be bundled together and they're making sure say we are not witch hunted, but we need to investigate every one of them. Obia exercise discretion, a very stupid discretion, and now so my Ghana lose Sikano. We need to. They didn't know sending Yakubu judges Diane to. They didn't know say baby I have a question near the farm for life. They didn't know say I didn't hear you didn't mean I'm not able to. Because you are not sat here and I told you said there is no way between a complete cathedral because funding and as a phone, you never also mark for my sika. Parliament kwaya mona mande enti osofo na omugu board no so sika no bae no umbisa hu ba bia sika no free omo so omo ye fundraising omo kwa bonte kwaya fundraising sika be no mo de ba kroma omo de ka ne bae. And I think that you see sanema we na yaya ma manfo play on our emotions for all this why in the name of this God the meaning say yasum nyame do impact on people just to make positive impact say be betimi aboa build the moral faculties in us. But then is that what some of the churches are doing? And the church na dan magic ne your friend say we na malam sem na yet church na ye obi the bag is one wa chanting na sika gum na ye design them this nonsense we are displaying for people to watch. I think we need to get serious and move beyond some of these things. See church and the whole essence of church and say yam building the moral facilities within people so by people will be responsible, integrity and that kind of way. Look at the society. The moral fiber of this society is shattered and broken. You can't trust human beings now. You can't trust the right thing. We push people to government. Even churches nankasa corruption. This is the responsibility of our religious institution, both Muslim, Christian, and as a form. And magic, and the say making sure that you impact positively on people. So Captain Smart bedin okre, Captain Smart had not to baby. Because of some moral foundation there, look at the society we live in. Do you see those things? Because the churches have moved from that moral education, you know, magic. And I take over the spirit. Nobody is teaching Obi a choir and the reason why we are here. So for me, I think that we need to set a sample with these people. Now you're making sure, say, next time on mind seeker, you'll be very careful. It doesn't matter where you are. See a casa cathedral when I be near say ya. You say Sikana ya de mame no ayemra kwan so na ya fire de mame. Na say sa nema we nyina is not as they didn't know. They knew because some of us were out there telling them all these things. Any say yes I know. They never listen. Let me back to the rent issue. Look at the problem. Housing deficit because and then housing a big issue. And this is can think into me. You tell about me promises or behind them my young people. Now young people be behind them movie. Empower the people, let them work or work or not behind them. I don't need government to rent for me. For how long? You understand? That's right. Provide them job. Or we hear Jumana out of the proceeds, no one can behind them. Housing deficit is all over. We are not more far. So, Captain, I think the rent issue is one issue. Government will have to pay attention to because Accra is draining a lot of young people. And then the man, yes, 2 years, 3 years. That's the kind of amount. But Emrao say you can't even take your rent advance more than 6 months. Emrao I think the parliament is working on that particular law to push it to 1 year. But these things are not working. So I think that a government touch about Ghana for those areas. We need to say president say new capital. For me, I think that at this time, it's unnecessary for now because you see, if you look at some of the towns like Uko, your friends say Teshi Labad in Nasafona. Some of our dynasties, why don't you come out with a plan and redevelop these areas? Land now, we see how you can give the ground floor to the family, then the about Tosso Abontimbiano. Government can rent it out, people will have a place to stay, and it will decongest Accra. We don't need to move to go and build new city anywhere. Right. I think that decongestion, say yes, I am on a bit more creative space for a month for a take away some of these challenges.
All right, Nana Machinawa was saying, I love listening to Ivan. Is he married? No. So, Ivan is not married, but you are engaged. Lucius, that's it. That's the message he sent to me. Why?
Oh, sir, Casa, say. Oh, Casa. No, I mean, can say involuntarily, no, ever.
waka twisa abro no mbe
Captain National Cathedral no there we say ya ka bi but me na no e ka na say corruption na ya so na no wa hu e ka ho bi ene ma saa ne ma no nyina etimi eden etimi koso say president sorry ka say oye project bi ti saa in the first place we say okay say enya de say obeyisu o man sika time na na do na dwen say oba be si National Cathedral no okay say enya de obeyisu o man sika ne dia eden e dia si na mom ewi akire no say obeyisu o man sika na na say obeyisu o man sika no asase na wo kwa kosi no so na ye o man no de asase nso kwa na enye petem asase a na eda ho asase a na ye wo project bebre e wo so ye wo building bebre wo so a ukobubu ayi adan no ye dey etugu yi uyi enu no so craft ho no ma o ka say obeba be ye ayi appeal for fund bio se den na enu mum ni ode ekwakwa de ode kwakosi na manfo bi sase ntu ye sure say that appeal for fund now ba be ye no enu mum betimi asi National Cathedral and no me gidie say asofo a bedbeto board no so a na be hwe say National Cathedral na ebesi no be mum na say nka be di nokre what ya say ha be mum na say nka be di nokre na mum nokre die bi antimi anyede antimi am
ambeda di nokre anya mo na mo san like forest ayo mo say galam so mo koto ya na ran ya sase ni say paye no is a hypocrite
wa hu entinu nokre die antimi anyede antimi amba captain hwe say yetna se na eso niema bi mu sese ya won Ghana no enya dia ye bekoya nimda wachi ase ene me no woka se no sa National Cathedral na ankasa kra no me gidie se bibia ne course ho me ti se ayi bibi se president ke se be ye hu adumo se visa me feel say e ho no kra de no kwan se ye diska bia ko hobi
ebi onsi mahama onsi
ai enu kwan se ska bia ko hobi
also de be ye Mother and Child Hospital.
Good. Empty. Ayi board na ye set it up no so no. They should call them to account. And in the enya say if you have ba che say ye the 25.
Oh, so for account. We say you call for account. Why so for nko jail?
Oh, say yan ka say jail. Say ya mo.
Ah, they account $25 million and you to grow na da ono.
Na say mo tu so for anko fa no Hong Kong.
Oh, I say na person ka. You go so nyam kaseti.
Tu mo so for.
Captain. Well, you say
I person nyam kaseti.
Captain, unu say ohene ba so nto ate. What you say? Aha, ye to ate na say wo de wate besi so a. Na unu say di na obeka say wo ye hene ba ntima ye mfa ate na.
Na nto ate ni bi.
Ani nto ate ni bi. Enti unu say wo ye sofo na de to board so. Na bia sika fa ansa to na ye be throw for accountability na ye be ka say we suffer and ye throw board bia so a enko what you say na mo okonko ade na say the sika ma wa enye enough so obegina son dem a kire sika e be to account mu
Ghana for na ya press conference
no board so no da na da Ghana board so enti sabre we say no e se betim be den e be account o account ya na say eyi hu so a Tanya, I better say, Uti Fita and Tiamuanku. So, Entino Benya, the Ubenya Tia Didi. And Intino corruption, where a yard also, where I Nano, Abaya, or the National Service one, where the why no gun, or not the other from one Kata. What I say, because Niamana or Yen or Horno. So, what National Service wrote to say, or share that pass only Nuku, Bear Ghana for Chrono. Because one to inflate a figure. National Service for be wo hono no na ayi number no why no time be 2 na wo mom odeko na say the sika no ma wa na wa divert dia kogu offense and private account wo wie nso a wo tim National Service for din be 900,000 na wo dey akọ serve as a collateral now they akọ secure loan about 20 million
so dey amano
e ye kro no ankasa na sa ba yo na dwen say obebo oman no what you say enti ntena se enso so sa nema we so sa se ka se ye tena se ane o man no bebo
be da se emshan for no kwasem monyame nim se ye se ye be di MPP for kro no o mo boy ye chia wo me do nyame na do fie o flowers na e be tutu akodua no won sanwom se ye se ye be di kro no MPP for boy ye chia wo ene niam o mo ye wo ha ka kofa do fie o ni ma ho flowers ni nyina ese tutuni na de kwansa won kodua ho ese mo ina koje but sen so kra de gusu kra na corruption ska ba se ye hwe yɛhwɛ ne ɛwura bɛyɛ Ivan mamenda wase enura ai passion for me Father's Day ade am so mam too enka ho na mbabli ache nti happy Father's Day from Passion Air.
Thank you.
And then hey why did I mention no problem make kwa here for from happy Father's Day
Thank you.
Lucius almost so mate wo air fair so se ukoto tikita fofofo
member me say say now ka say back to 10%.
O mate so 10%. One so pen on play ni two and so turn we my kusu den kra pilot ni timi fam. Anti. They are done no. Emsha, I mean fa won see here so ho. Na me 2GH boy for. Abra. What me nka? And say wo ball life pa. Sika edisi dan yem fanto pizza. Chat am catch on. Mensi ento cement ngunkro for my yem. Me nka say wo yes I be too for. Kabrate. Udu actually was to catch God and say, me say, if you're a young man, don't marry a woman who thinks submission is slavery, but want you to provide for her like a king. Bye bye.